everyone, and welcome to the Call of Duty North American Pro League Season 1, Week 3. I am your host, Dominic. I'm joined by Niberia this week, and we are going to be starting off... Niberia's back. Starting out with a match between Infinex and N.M.E. Although, due to being late, turns out the late penalty for coming in, if your players are late, they don't get to play. So we're going to be doing a 4v5 of Infinex versus N.M.E, apparently. And... yeah.
I mean, at a certain point, it's just like, all right, cool. You know, you take what you can get when you're late to a tournament, and for Infinex, that's really unfortunate, but got to work with what you have at this point. And
I mean, is that or DQ, I
suppose. I want to see how this goes. Because, I mean, we have seen, to be fair, we've never seen a round literally start 4v5, but we have seen many a round that starts with an immediate snipe onto someone that ended up pretty well for one team. So there's a chance that Infinex can pull this one back.
You know, it's just like every single team, they get sniped in the head. Or every single game, they get sniped in the head. Actually, last week, we did have a game, which did end up being 4v5. And it was remarkably close.
Yeah, I mean, it's totally doable, especially if your strategy is sound. You just have to make sure that you're the ones who get the first pick, which essentially evens things up for you. So Infinex will be working against that. Now, for those of you wondering what's going to happen next as we load into game, if Infinix is not able to produce a fifth player by the time we get through this first match, they will be disqualified from this round, and it'll be handed over immediately to N.M.E. So,
and then I guess we have
a lot
pretty long
riding
break
on this in many ways.
Yeah, it's like it is. Well, okay, I mean, there's a lot riding on it, but the best thing they can do is just take as long as possible to get through each round.
Yeah.
I mean, really, their incentive is to just delay. Just don't die, but don't kill either. Just wait it out.
Just kind of chill, hang out. I don't know if they're going for that. Like, they're kind of
going to suicide rush.
Watching the flanks coming in. Like, this is quite a chaotic start to the round, but just watching the strategies that N.M.E are taking, because they know that Infinex are down. They're just going for these crazy flanks, and it doesn't even work out for them because Tatia just clutches it out. But you still have to use some strategy, N.M.E. You can't just run at them reckless like that from behind and hope it works.
Well, yeah, like you were saying before, it's like someone's been sniped early on. You wouldn't normally just go in as soon as someone gets sniped and try to go for 5v4 in one big thing. I mean, that doesn't work. Especially when we've seen already Parker can do a lot. And Tatia, I mean, Tatia took that entire round. They got all of the kills. Every single kill was just Tatia going around doing something. Now they're content with staring at a wall, but last game they did really well and they've decided to come play again, so that should really help as Tatia gets yet another kill, taking out Solid.
Nacello, though. This is going to be a Nacello versus Tatia at this point because Nacello has been bringing in the snipes since the beginning of the round, already got dropped 2. Nobody seems to be able to find Tatia, though, so they're on a one-person mission to clutch out a 1v4. And,
for the second time.
Well, if nothing else, this is good training for your clutch plays.
Absolutely. This is what's funnier is that this is the second time. But Tatia doesn't get 2 in a row. Oh, well. That's 1-1, giving N.M.E back the advantage. But my goodness, though. I mean, seriously, he just had twice Tatia is basically the one carrying the team, which I find surprising because we've seen before, like, Parka is really good, and Kings, who is the missing player, is also a really strong 1v1 player. It's just funny that, you know, the 4v5, Tatia takes stall, but looks like we're actually getting a bit of proper strategy coming in here from from N.M.E.
Yeah, and it's funny because Tatia, if you'll remember the last time we cast together, their strategy that Infinex chose to take was you put Kings on that flank up by the upper side of B. Tatia was trying to fill that role, but then they found out that pretty much everyone from N.M.E was already blocking off that pass, so now they're trying to make a quick rotate across to A. Good smoke down mid, though. Might be able to let them make the transition.
I actually came out from Nacello, so surprising, but it worked out in favor of Infinex, or at least would have. Frosh getting a nice double kill on Shah and Munoz. Tatia goes down as well. Parker now the only one left, looking for something, but Solid right behind them. I didn't really noticing the fact that Parker was in the grass, but there we go. 5-0 for N.M.E.
I don't know whose perspective you were on there, Dominic, but I was watching Parka try and clutch it out, and it was so funny because you can see Parka just swing over, looking at the tank, staring at 3 guns directly in the face.
Oh, I saw that, but I was in the perspective, it jumped me to third person, so it's out from the side where Solid was just walking nonchalantly beside Parka, not even noticing them.
You know, if nothing else, this 4v5 is a hell of a lot of fun for the two of us. So you know what?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're just enjoying the hell out of this. This is great.
They almost got the plant. That's actually pretty impressive.
Considering, yeah. Actually, they did get the plant. The defuse, however, is coming out afterwards. So, unfortunately, N.M.E's numerical advantage it's still being a bit of a problem.
So this is one of those things that a pro team is realistically never going to have to deal with, hopefully, in an ideal situation. But when you're in a 4v5, I do wonder what the optimal strategy is. Because at a certain point, I mean, the only disadvantage is a man disadvantage.
Pretty much, yeah.
So really, wouldn't you just go for rushes? Like, if you can rush down A, cover mid with the smoke, and get there with 4, if N.M.E aren't there in time, you have the man advantage temporarily, and you can even it out.
I mean, that works once or twice, but then they'll get wise to it and smoke out A, waiting for it to get good sight line, snipe it out from there. Like, snipe out from the rooftops. Speaking of, although Xia is actually doing a pretty good job of keeping themselves alive here. Solid.
Oh.
Ooh, getting flanked up with Evader. That pulls N.M.E up 4-1. And this is not working out for Infinex, because remember, their main strategy here is to delay as long as possible so that you can actually get the last teammate, presumably Kings, to connect and start playing.
I know, realistically, if they're already in, it's time to just...
Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
Well,
yeah.
I don't want to say that because it is entirely feasible for them to get it close in a 4v5. I think expecting to win is a little bit of high hopes, but it's possible. It's one of those things where if you're really trying your hardest,
yeah,
there is money on the line in this tournament, so you might as well try and win the 4v5. And Shot doing their best, but when you lose a 1v1 spray down, or it at least goes even, and you're chunked pretty decently, you're a man down, so someone else is just going to come in and kill you there.
Speaking of, though, Alana has been taken out, so it is now 3v3. 3v2, Tatia has been shot. So, you know, having to be protected by Evader, but Evader does their job.
2v2.
Back to 2v2. But Frosh making it a 2v1. Munoz the only one left. And Frosh takes them out.
Munoz, no.
Oh. Like, although I feel kind of weird just how nonchalant it was like, oh yeah, and Tatia's gotten shot. Like, yeah, it's just normal.
It's just casually dropping bodies here for the side of N.M.E. This one,
yeah, we're just letting the bodies hit the floor.
Yeah,
as you do.
Ooh,
nice smoke coming in here, stopping Nacella from getting those sight lines. Munoz, looks like they are rushing point A. Yep.
Yeah, they're gonna try it. Give it a shot as best they can, but they've already
solid
one on the side. Like,
yeah, Solid got that window. That was great. That was a wonderful positioning on the part of N.M.E.
Xia is so screwed.
5v1. Pull it to Tio. Pull it to Tio. They pulled it off. Are they going for the
full rush?
Ah. I was hoping they'd manage to get that plant and then just be tricky about it. But I think standoff is too small for that to work.
Yeah, the rotate from A to B is like not even a quarter of the map. They're so close together that even if you're defending B, you can just waddle over to A within no time at all.
Yeah,
does make these 4v5s harder. I'd imagine you'd be able to do a lot more with sneaky caps if we were on like raid.
Oh, it would be. That's actually where we saw the 4v5 last time, and yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I don't think firing range would be very good for it, just out of our map pool. But I think it would still be better than standoff. Yeah, standoff is officially the worst one to 4v5 one. So teams, if you're looking to run a 4v5 for some god-awful reason,
if you're looking to just have one of your teammates sleep in, basically.
Yeah, make sure they sleep in after the first round.
Yeah. Well, last week we started with raids, so it actually would have worked out last week. Just check the map pool first, and then set your alarms.
Yes, set your alarm based on the map pool, and that way you should be able to figure it out.
Yeah, start on raid, go an hour late.
Yeah, 7-1 in favor of N.M.E so far.
Yeah. Oh, it's daylight savings time tomorrow, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Oof, we're gonna be into interesting setup tomorrow. I mean, imagine the two of us will be fine, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's some players who are just missing or sleeping in or going, oh, I thought the tournament was an hour from now. And it's like, well, See, there's a thing called daylight savings time, unless you're in, I think, Arizona or Saskatchewan. If you're not, then no.
Specific areas to just know off the top of your head.
Well, I think those it's
I
all
respect
it's Central Standard Time provinces and states, but I think it is just Arizona, Saskatchewan. I don't think the rest of the central states avoid daylight savings time. I'm not sure though.
I'll ask my Arizonan friend. 8-1 side switching. This is, I think, intuitively worse for Infinix at this point. If you're running into a 4v5 and you're on defense, you're kind of screwed because the one person can just run around and do whatever they want.
Yeah, that one person's probably going to be Nacello, honestly. Oh, as I say that, they go down. Just thinking, oh, the sniper. Of course, the sniper would be just in the back, but no, that's not what's happening. But still, it's still one up. The plant happens. Although, it's a 3v2.
So, they might be able to get this. They
Indeed.
actually might be able to get this.
Solid trying to run around defending that point, and Parka and Shah coming around the back. Shah looks to be finding some room for a defuse, but it's turning out to be quite the challenge.
25 seconds remaining. They do have the time for this. They're rotating through. The statue is becoming quite the sideline.
Solid down. Shah down. Evader down. There's the opening. 16 seconds. There's time. The bomb can be defused. Infinix gets another point. Nicely done.
8-2. So...
very nicely done.
I'm talking to my homie Nacello there.
Yeah.
Don't run into that box with your grenade out. That is exactly the best place to abuse sightlines, and I think especially if you're in a 4v5, you're going to know that that's one place to be because you have the drop on whoever walks past either of those entrances. It was just a really bad time to choose swapping your weapon, and that started it into a 4v4 instead of a 5v4. This time, not going to be as much of a problem, but it will drop down to a 4 versus 3 pretty quickly.
Yeah, Vader getting taken out to Tatia as well. Looked like Munoz trying to find some counter-snipe opportunities with an assault rifle. Just making sure to cover things for Sean Parkett. Nice teamwork there. I like that. Good coordination.
Yeah. Ooh, here comes a flash nade, I think, from Parka. No, smoke.
Still good. Same concept. Getting a nice distraction, allowing for Sean Parkett to make a choice. But that choice needs to be made now, and Shah going in. Shah will find death. But Owen will be taken out by Parka in response. However, Owen gets flanked from behind. Solid gets taken out by Munoz. Froch is the only one left. And N.M.E and Munoz, it's very close. Munoz has to go for that plant. And unfortunately cannot. Forced into a terrible position. N.M.E takes the second to last round, potentially.
The bouncy headshot was a whole lot of fun. Match point here. Frosh going to pick up that last kill, of course. And it looks like, I mean, look, I know the score isn't reflecting it, ladies and gentlemen, but 9-2. Infinix actually doing a whole lot better on the defense than I thought they would be doing. But this whole rush towards B might work out a little bit better here for N.M.E.
It's certainly being attempted. Parka goes down. That was 3v1. That was cruel. Munoz finding a kill, taken out in response. Shah, however, kind of out of position, unfortunately. Tatia as well, finding some good kills. Actually, quite a few good kills. Solid takes him out, but Shah's still alive. Solid
1v1.
Solid's on that plant. It's not done yet. They just have to not die, basically. If they can get the plant, then everything reverses, but it's gonna be tricky. Solid. Ooh, Solid just avoids Shah. Going around behind.
Yeah.
Goes to A. Or no,
I think Solid's just hunting for Shah at this point instead of looking for the plant.
I mean, they have 30 seconds. They have time.
I sort of like this play because, oh, no, they're going for the plant now that they haven't seen them. But up through the window is Shah. Very dangerous.
Okay. Shah knows exactly where Solid should be. Now it's just a matter of gunplay, and Solid wins it out, taking it for their team, putting N.M.E up 1 round, and depending on whether or not Infinix gets their second teammate in, it might be game.
Yeah, that
or
was
not
just,
second,
I
fifth.
mean, it was well done as best as they could for Infinix, but at a certain point, there's only so much you can do in a 4v5. They didn't do great on the offense because it's really hard to rush when you only have 4 members, or hard to make any sort of strategic play with a pivot or any kind of flank.
Yeah, it's hard to just not just choke and die, which they didn't
Yeah,
choke and die, so
on the
credits
defense,
to that.
On the defense, you can generally find a way to get the drop on someone and try and even up the odds, and they did that for exactly 1 round, which is better than I honestly would have expected in a 4 versus 5. So,
At this level, absolutely. So
well, at any level, a 4 versus 5 is rough.
Oh yeah, but
at the higher you go.
at high level, that's what I mean. At a high level, you're dealing with the fact that now any mistake is going to be capitalized on.
Yeah.
And you're starting essentially having been shot in the head.
Yeah. Just imagine the enemy team has an invisible 6 sniper that starts immediately on your player the round. And it was really rough, I think, especially for Infinix specifically on standoff, because we saw Kings be such a pivotal. Sorry. Apparently, I'm adding extra syllables to words.
You can just pivot on King all day. It's
Exactly.
so pivotable.
Thank you, Dominic. But Kings really was the pivot for a lot of the play around that map. You know, he would always go towards that B point, always be the one watching. There's Kings returning for the second round. So luckily, we are going to bring this to the full best of 3, but Infinix starting pretty low down at this point.
They're definitely going to have to go for this reverse sweep. They're going to be fighting uphill battle. I think they can do it, but they are going to, actually have to do it. So I believe we'll be on Raid next, which will be a... I feel like it's not as... Infinix tends to be very rushdowny, so...
Yeah.
Not sure Raid is the... I feel like Standoff was their go-to map for getting their points in.
If I recall correctly, I believe it went to best of 3 for that one. I'm actually going to go check my notes real quick. CBK versus Infinix. No.
Because I accidentally deleted my notes.
CBK. Oh, it's rough.
Yeah, I hate when I don't know how that happened, but yeah. Well, I guess I'll start new notes. Anyway, thankfully I have memory, and it looks like we're gonna go right into it. So I can't do a commercial break. Sorry. I guess in the meantime, we're apparently sponsored. We're sponsored by Dr. Battles. Go to I think it's drbattles.com, and then you get to play games and make money potentially if you're good. It's like some kind of semi-pro thing where you can organize tournaments. There's the commercial.
Now
let's get back to the game.
We'll get a proper commercial next time.
Yeah, probably. Normally we will.
It's okay.
Yeah, we're in game.
Great. It do be like that.
So we have Infinix, the full roster, rushing point A, as I was saying. So yeah, I respect my written notes, but I certainly have the notes in my head.
I absolutely respect a full rush onto A, especially for the first plant.
Yeah,
50-50 shot of where you're gonna rush, but
does that on every plant.
Shh. We can sell it. We can sell it. Don't worry.
That's true. They might have changed the strategies up. They might have decided that going slightly with having 2 strategies is better than 1 strategy. It's twice as many strategies. And Tatia takes it. So hey, it kind of worked out ultimately, barely, but Tatia bleeding from the eyes, but just barely alive, taking that round, and Infinix gets a point.
That shouldn't have worked at all.
No,
that was. So, like, the beginnings of the rush were kind of nice there from Infinix, cleanly executed. I don't know what Tatia is doing right now. Literally not playing. That's not good. Good pivot use there from Solid. They are going to spot out this rush towards A once again. This should slow down Infinix's push, but the initial push went well for Infinix. They were able to pick up Frosh, but from then on, there was really no bark to the bite, and it was only through Tatia just clutching it out like a madman that ended up with them winning. And it looks like it's down to the gunfights again. They spotted this out, but N.M.E just weren't able to respond to it in time.
That is one thing I did write down before about Infinix, is that they're really good at the clutch. They just always rely on the clutch. Although this round, they're not so much relying on the clutch. The 3v1, they should be fine.
If you have to clutch in a 3v1, you've done something very, very wrong. But Evader going to try and clutch.
If you're on the 3 side, at least. We'll see if Evader manages to pull it out. I mean, if Evader can pull out a clutch, that'd be awesome. But unfortunately, Tatia does not let that happen.
It's just a really rough spot to be in as well. Like, especially picking that angle when all 3 were looking at you. Like, you can't get any less lucky than that.
Yeah, that's just the last thing going through your head. Well, I mean, the last thing going through your head is a bullet.
Well, a bullet.
Prior to that.
I believe that was a smoke down mid from the side of N.M.E.
And it's working out reasonably well to give Infinix some room to maneuver, but shot goes down. Munoz, Kings as well. Tatia and Park are the only ones left. Now, granted, Tio is really strong in fights, but does get flanked. Parker now the only one remaining. Evader takes them out, and that gives N.M.E a point. Puts them on the board.
So, I'm going to be entirely honest there, Dominic. I'm not entirely sure what happened because it looked like the A push was going well, and then they just ended up in a massive gunfight and lost. And I was sort of missing on the details of that because I was following Evader, and they were one of the last ones to go down.
I mean, it was basically just a split up. Infinex got split up. They didn't really get those gunfights going. Smoke bombs didn't seem to work out in their favor. This time it's working much better in the B push. Allen goes down immediately. Tatio gets a bit damaged, but it's fine. They're still alive. Tatio, however, does go down. Sha follows soon afterwards. And Rush looks to try to take out Kings and doesn't manage to, but Kings goes down, however, regardless. And Frush finishing it off. 4 members of N.M.E still alive at the end.
Yeah, it was really good point defense by them. It was a solid rush, and Infinix has only done rushes so far, 4 rounds in.
As mentioned.
They were going for the B rush this time, and they smoked onto the fountain, and that delayed it a little bit, but also had the negative effect of choreographing exactly where they wanted to go. And that gave N.M.E time enough to set up Nacello in a sniping position and give them intel. I think that really helped them out on that fight.
Yeah, Smoke Grenades, whoever coming in this time around, allowing for a bit more room on A. Tatio running past the A point, trying to find someone. I mean,
wow.
Nacello, really, as Nacello goes for the through smoke snipe, taken out, and gets the wallbang snipe. No, sorry, that's Evader kills Tatio, but still, Tatio goes down. King's the last one left. King's taking some revenge on the rest of their teammate, but at this point, they go jumping into the grave right after the rest of them.
I thought the smokes were a really good idea. Honestly,
they were great.
Yeah, they really set up N.M.E to fail, but ultimately Nacello just stood on the back and waited for them to fly. And the moment they cleared, instant headshot. And from there, things sort of started to fall apart again for Infinix.
And that's what I'm kind of worried about here, is that we have Infinix constantly rushing, constantly going for this, like, one point or the other. So as long as N.M.E knows which point they're going for, it's fine. I'd like to see Infinix rush the courtyard, because that's how you do it on this map. You rush the courtyard and then choose from there after you've gotten a few members of the opposing team down. But no, Infinix,
and on the other hand, N.M.E have been always putting someone to watch the courtyard to see where the push is going so that you have that vision ahead of time. But looks like it's just going to come down to the clutch once again. And Tatio's still alive, so I'm kind of liking Infinix's chances in this one.
Yeah, it is 3v3. Nacello comes around the side, has to avoid a grenade coming up to kill them, and does manage to do so. But Solid goes down. Evader gets revenge. Parker now the only one left on Infinix, and I believe they're getting flanked by Evader, but Parker takes them out regardless. Nice 180 turnaround snipe. But Nacello still alive, still has their sniper rifle. Parker going for the plant because, hey, they know where Nacello is. They know how to get cover.
Yeah, and I think this is going to be a really rough position for Nacello to recover from, especially because you have the sniper rifle. You only get 1 shot per engagement and not going to be able to find it.
Doesn't get a single shot, ties it out. Infinix now looking to have a bit of momentum on their side.
I'm not sure how sustainable the rushing strategy is, though, honestly, because that is what they've gone for every time. They're going to go for it once again, the full rush down onto A, throwing the smokes into the point for the second time, I believe. They're trying to cover their angles, but instead Munoz got shut off. So Nacello with a beautiful sniper nest point there, predicting that they're going to go for the A rush once again, and did a beautiful job.
As expected. And honestly, you're saying you're not sure how well it works. I'd say, statistically speaking, it's a 50-50.
Yeah. But I don't think that's really what you want to bet your series on. Because remember, they are down 1 from when they had the absence of Kings in that 4v5. So they're playing for essentially 2 rounds at this point. They've got to catch up. And you want to go for a reliable strategy at this point. You can't go for these 50-50s.
Yeah, don't speak for them. They do what they want, apparently.
Well, all right. They can go for the 50-50s. I'm just not sure how advisable it is.
I agree. Absolutely. And we are at least seeing they're managing to even things out, but Nacello gets that great snipe off the courtyard, and there's Nacello in the courtyard, but a B rush has been successful enough to get that plant going. But now it's 4v3. The advantageous angle is all in favor of N.M.E. Infinix loses another member. Munoz gets body sniped, gets finished off, and Xia goes down as well. Now it's just a matter of getting that defuse, and once that's done, Nacello will make it a 5v3.
That was really beautiful there from N.M.E. I really liked their strategy with handling that push. They did lose Aun right away because they were the poor canary in the coal mine at point B. But once that got taken out, you had Nacello watching as they moved into B, and from the side, everyone was pushing IFX away from the point. So you gave Nacello sightlines because they're perpendicular to each other. If you run away from one, you end up in the sightlines of another, and that allowed them to just snipe member after member. But now Nacello down the first kill of the round. This is not going to go well here for N.M.E.
And Solid is pushed back as well. There's clearly, well, it seems like a rush on A, but actually I'm not sure how much I can say clearly. Infinix seems to have learned their lesson and is going for a bit more of a safe play down the center first.
Yeah, and it looks like they're going to have success this round. No sniper brought out by them, which is something I have not brought up until this point. But one of the reasons they're able to and willing to go for these rushes so heavily is because you don't have a sniper. You don't have someone who's slow on these pushes. So you'll always have the superior firepower if you're caught in an even position.
Of course, the bomb is in the middle of the house. Frosh is defending it, and there's only so much that can be done by Infinex, but Kings gets the kill anyway. At the very end, just snuck by Frosh. Didn't even notice them as they went for Parka. Well played, Kings.
Now, side switch coming out, so Infinix going to have to try the defense. Their rush strategy actually worked out for them pretty well, so I want to see what kind of offensive strategy N.M.E are going to take. It does look like they're going for that courtyard rush, which we've said is a little bit more standard on this map. Just to walk through, try and see where people are transitioning. They will catch the pivot from Parka, so 5v4 already in favor of N.M.E.
Well, I mean, they're pretty used to that. I think they know how to play this position quite well.
Yeah, they've done that for an entire map.
Yeah, that a whole round of practice. Or not round.
Wow,
map,
that was beautiful spray down. Aun was nearly
Tatia.
caught out there, but Frosh helping out enough damage to keep him alive.
Yeah, Frosh holding everything down. Tatia finally taking it out, getting that sniper rifle, but it's too little too late. 3v1, 3v0, N.M.E takes it. Infinex's ghosts cannot do anything to stop
really
him.
good gunplay from N.M.E.
That was amazing. Frosh, man. Frosh and Solid both.
Yeah, they were holding a really good position that gave them vision both on the window, which is where one member was. I'm sorry, I don't remember who, but then also gave them vision to the 1v1 that Aun was stuck in, so they were able to fire down onto one, immediately rotate to the second one. But this time, Frosh getting taken out first, so they push in towards A. Not going to get any advantageous sight lines, though.
Now, unfortunately, Frosh basically walking straight into it, not really taking any cover either, dies in the process. This is actually giving Infinix a massive advantage. At this point, getting a plant is going to be a massive challenge. Solid is close to point A. Doesn't want to go for it, though. Wants to make sure that they have a cover of everything else. But they have gotten rid of the two deadliest members of Infinix, at the very least. Parka setting up a grenade just as a bit of a distraction. Vader not taking the bait.
Push in just yet. They're playing this slow. They have the time for it.
Oh, they don't have the life, though. Solid down to 1v2. 1v1 Parka, however, taking it. 6v5. Infinix goes up a point.
Yeah, the end of that round wasn't all that clean from either side, I'm going to say. But Infinix did win it out with superior numbers, better gunplay in the end. One thing I'd like to note, though, is that despite switching sides, I would have expected Infinix to pick up a sniper player and have someone able to watch those rotates, get those picks, but they're still sticking with their all assault rifle SMG composition. And it's really great in these short range engages like you're seeing now. But it does mean that if Nacello finds a pick, there's no one to shut him down. If he gets into a really good position, into a really good window, there is nothing anyone can do to stop them other than a straight up rush. And that is going to be the number one thing you're expecting as a sniper. So I would expect it to have less success than it's having, frankly. But to Infinix's credit, it's going really well. They're tying it up 6-6.
They are. I think that's why they're going with the assault rifle strategy. They know that Kings, Tio, and Parka are amazing on the sniper rifle, or sorry, on the assault rifles and SMGs. So they can just rely on that all day.
I want to see how N.M.E are going to take advantage of the sniper advantage, because so far they haven't really been able to do that a whole lot on raid. Nacello's got a few good angles early into the map, but ever since then, it hasn't been enough to make a difference. You have to get those picks early and stop Infinex from pushing as a group, because as a group, they have the better firepower. They have the better short fights.
And I'm kind of curious, Nacello going around the swimming pool instead of the normal angle. Frosh coming in as support, however, that does take out Munoz, and now shot on their own, 1v3. Should be seeing a plant any second now, as Solid is getting ready on point A. Sha is the only one left. N.M.E knows it. They got that angle covered. Nacello and Frosh just finishing off Sha as the plant goes down. Sha, however, getting a nice kill, but guts down in the process.
That was very, very close to a 1 versus 2, I think. Closer than either team really wants to admit. Well, I think Infinix is pretty happy about that one, actually. So
they did well.
Really good job there, trying to delay as best as possible. But from that point, it's really hard to come back up. But like you said, Nacello consistently taking this pool angle is something I wouldn't quite expect. I'd expect something like the window behind the pool to try and catch them, see if anyone shows up at A. But I guess the offensive sniper is the way they're choosing, and it's not really working out, because while Nacello was trying to slow push through the pool, the entire rest of their team died.
I feel kind of silly. I've been watching Nacello the entire time, so we couldn't see the massacre of the rest of N.M.E.
Well, maybe we get to see the massacre of Infinix right now. Who knows? Maybe Nacello is just going to clutch it out.
No, he's going to get shot in the back.
Yeah, that was going to happen. My bad. My bad, everyone.
Well, I know it was a good thought. It just didn't happen.
It was a fun thought. I don't know if it was accurate or anything. But I definitely was a fan of it.
Yeah, no, it's definitely less accurate than the shots coming out from Tatia's guns.
But that's the fun of it, you know? The fun of it is to sometimes make crazy predictions, like this is going to be a clutch 1v3, and then see them get shot in the head. That's fun.
Yeah, not for them, but for us.
No, and Nacello, again, not having much fun.
Oof, Aun trying to clean things up. Solid now the only one left. And that is at least going to lead to a 1v1 with Tatia. However, that is a 1v1 with Tatia, and Tatia shows you why that's a problem.
Yeah. Tatia, as we said, really good in these clutch situations. I think the setup there from Infinix was really good. They had the entrance angles all covered from short angles with the SMGs and assault rifles, so they just sprayed everyone down as they entered. It gave them a great advantage to the beginning of the fight, and from there, it was just a little bit of cleanup.
Well, that little bit of cleanup could very well become a third round or third map, as Infinix looking at only with 2 more rounds left to get back. Munoz, however, does go down early on in this round here. Frosh might be able to take it out, but Solid coming in around the side gets, well, doesn't get the kill. Does, however, go down. Kings continue to try to provide some support, but Aun takes them out. Now Aun just trying to find Parka. Looks to be finishing them off. Does signal over to the team that's there. Nacello's coming in for the flank, but it didn't matter as N.M.E ties it up.
Much, much better played there from N.M.E, I think. I was watching Froch the entire time, and I was watching the angles they were coming from, and I really liked their approach in. And they're going to go looking for the pivot in the courtyard once again, trying to spot any rotates through. But it looks like Infinix have taken a split approach to the defense this time. 2 on A, 2 on B, 1 in the middle. And Nacello gets caught out as he's trying to rotate out. Oh my god, 2 down already.
Frosh gets into 2v1 as well. Evader, however, finally getting some revenge. Takes care of Tatia. King's still around. King's in point A. Solid trying to find some route to it, but gets killed around the statue by Munoz. Leaves Evader in a 1v4 situation in the pool, in the low ground, really. That is less than ideal. Takes out Kings, however, before going down, so it's, you know, it's not the least glorious death you could have, but it's still death.
Yeah. Good rotate out there from Infinix. This is going to be match point for them, of course. Now, if N.M.E are able to clutch this one out and bring it to 9-9, it will be a side switch. And we've seen what the strategy is for Infinix when they're on offense. It's the 50-50 rushes.
So at that point is literally flipping the coin on maintaining their tournament life, or at least maintaining the points.
They are currently 1-3. Oh no. Beautiful grenades coming out from Infinix. Might spell doom here for N.M.E, taking out 2 members.
I don't know. Nacello goes down as well. Evader gets a kill, but they are going to have to get all of the kills if they want to be able to hold on to this map. And Kings with the slide flank again. Infinix uses that to take the round and move on to map 3. Despite an early disadvantage, tying it up and making N.M.E really have to work for it.
Yeah, N.M.E had a really good showing when they first switched over between offense and defense, because before they weren't doing a great job of shutting down the rushes of Infinix, because as we said, it was just like a little bit of a 50-50 the entire time. But when it came in, they were trying to catch on the rotate, they were trying to catch with Nacello, but ultimately they didn't find a way to stop Infinix's style from working for them, which is you just run them down. You have all close range guns. You're all looking to try and get into these close gunfights, and Infinix did a really good job of forcing them. And while they didn't necessarily win all of them, as evidenced by the score being 10-8, they won more of them than they lost, and that's literally all that matters when you have this many rounds.
Yeah, the coin flips won their favor. They had a lot of heads. But now we're going on to raid. I will play the commercial break properly, so we'll have that, and then come back, and then beyond to map 3.
Do you have what it takes to compete against the best in the world? The best in the world. Can you make it to the top 100 in your region? How about the top 5% on your favorite console? Find out by competing on the most competitive platform in the world. DrBattles.com is where competition lives.
DrBattles.com, where competition lives.
All right, welcome back to the North American Pro League Week 3 Season 1 Infinix and N.M.E Map 3 on firing range, which they should change it to. So we're now getting ready as Infinix ties things up following a rather sketchy first round where they were running 4v5. Didn't work out.
Yeah,
Last one, still kind of sketchy though. It was 10v8. Like, it was 10-8. That was still
exactly
remarkably close.
Performance. It's a little bit closer, and I mean, looking at the standings, these teams are fairly close. N.M.E, of course, 0-4, Infinix 1-3. Neither of them have quite found success so far in this tournament, but this may be Infinix's chance to move up a little bit in the standings. N.M.E could clinch out their first win here, but they really need to figure out a solid strategy for themselves. It felt like Nacello was not given enough space as the sniper to sort of get anything done. A lot of times when you see teams that run these snipers, well, most of them, you're going to have a way to play around that sniper. You're going to have them covering common angles of rotation, stuff like that, longer angles. And Nacello, with the pool pushes, didn't really seem like that was a fairly utilized strategy or anything that added utility for the team. It didn't really seem to do much. It seemed sort of like suicidal to push like that with a sniper rifle, frankly. And sure, it worked out once or twice, but I think they got punished for it more than they didn't. So I want to see them either utilize the sniper heavier or swap off of it.
I think they're going to have an easier time on firing range, though. There's a lot of long angles. There are many specific places to check across the center. So it's a bit easier for Nacello. There's fewer things in the way. However, Aun does go down to Tatia, and the trailer has been taken pretty heavily by Infinix. They are on the attack. They're going for point A, but everyone being taken out on Infinix very rapidly by, looks like, Frosh. And Nacello, too. That trailer's becoming a death trap.
It's a trailer park battle at this point. Parka, last one standing, going to get taken down there. And I thought that was going to go a lot worse for N.M.E. Like, way, way worse. When you see someone get caught and picked out at the very beginning of the round, again, like to point out that Infinix are not running any sniper rifle still. So they went for that heavy rush. They went into the trailer. They found Aun, and I thought from there, that was just going to be the game because you have no one left to defend that. You have to have everyone scrambling, and they're going to do the same thing this round, try and pick someone off immediately. But getting 2 trade kills, that is absolutely disastrous for Infinix.
Yeah, you're going for a rush strategy. You don't have the luxury of dying. They do, however, take out Aun and Frosh, leaving Nacello left. Nacello going for some body snipes. Hits Parka, but does not kill. King is on the flank once again. And honestly, King's flanks have been winning Infinix like so many rounds thus far.
Absolutely. Let's rephrase your statement there, because I did agree with it, and then I saw what just happened. When you go for a rush, you can't afford to die unless you just turn around and kill everyone else afterwards. I think that's the the asterisk, the fine print in the contract that nobody really talks about, because if you can just clutch it out the way Infinex just did, I guess you can die on the rush.
I guess so.
don't
Like,
know
if
what
you go
else to
for
say
if you
at
can
that
go
point.
for fancy slide flanks like Kings, then yeah,
Yeah.
feel free to die. I mean, unless you're Kings, don't die because you're needed for the slide flanks.
Yeah, you're kind of a necessary part of that plan.
Yeah.
Kings
so like,
catching
the
up
plan
another
is
one.
everyone else dies, and then Kings go for the side flanks.
Kings was just not able to figure. Oh God!
I
did he
wasn't
still get
kidding.
crushed?
I wasn't kidding when I just said that.
How did Kings still get Froch at that? Couldn't find Froch the entire time in that trailer. Spun around like 7 times, and then just clutches out the round like it's nothing. What the hell?
Told you. The plan is everyone in Infinix gets themselves killed, and Kings wins.
All right. I mean, I guess if it works, damn.
It's a plan. It's like just
It sure is. I just don't know if it should be working at this
I
point.
don't know. It feels very World War I. Just throwing wave after wave of troops at the opponents, and then eventually the last person standing
Someone
wins.
is hopefully alive at the end.
Yeah, exactly. Looks like Kings is
getting
not
going
as
for the Trailer
necessary
Park
though.
Battle.
Yeah, they are. Well, Kings is holding that trailer, but Allen and Solid have been taken out, so it is a 4v3 advantage in favor of Infinex. Kings take out Nacello. Kings looks to try to cover sightlines on B. Takes out, or almost takes out Frosh. Gets taken out by Frosh. Frosh gets their revenge. Now has to go for the clutch kill themselves, but Munoz puts a stop to that.
1 versus 3, you're not going to be able to find that one. So, the problem I'm seeing here for N.M.E is that the person they're sending to match Kings seems to be Aun in terms of role. They're both the ones that are going for the aggressive front forward vision plays. Not working. Aun is not winning the 1v1, and that just leaves Infinex with an advantage. So I think they need to try and either shut down Kings as a team or not go for these isolated stakeout plays. Because you have Froch in the trailer, or sorry, Aun in the trailer and Froch in the building across mid, and that's great for vision. But if you're stuck in a 1 versus 1 and you can't win that 1v1 even with the better vision, why are you still there?
I will give
So
them credit,
far, they
though.
have not been
Infinex-
challenged.
I mean, Infinex has slowed down a great deal as a result of the sightlines being covered. So N.M.E's strategy is working to that end. Whether it gives them the win, I mean, they have 45 seconds, they just have to wait it out. So it's working reasonably well, but in the next 15 seconds, we'll probably be seeing a massive rush coming in from Infinex just because they have to.
Yeah,
And there's smoke
we've
grenade
never
for it.
seen them to be a team to play slowly.
Nope, and indeed, they're not. Tatia coming around the back, getting some kills in, but Kings and Sha have already gone down. And Tatia holding on to that bomb, hasn't planted it yet, just trying to kill off the last few members. Nacello in there, cannot stop the plant. Sees the plant happening, but does not have the angle to deal with it. Does spot Parka, does not get spotted by Parka in return. Fails the snipe. Parka takes them out at close range.
I think the problem here with N.M.E's strategy is that they just they don't have a way to shut down Infinex, because Infinex every single time are going to go for those rush plays. They're going to go for the gunfights because their loadouts and their playstyle support it so well. You go for the rushes to get in to close the distance fast. You essentially negate Nacello's usefulness if they can't slow down the game. They did a great job, but after they slowed down the game, they weren't able to get any useful angles from Nacello, and then just one by one, Infinex were picking them out.
And with that, Infinex, however, is actually getting kind of answered to. Park and Tatia, they're doing a good job. Nacello and Alan are still alive. Nacello sniping from the sides. Now in a 1v2 situation again, as last time. Sha and Parka alive. Don't know where Nacello is. Nacello tries to get the angle, misses the snipe. That might spell their doom. And if it does, Infinex is going to have the advantage going into the side swap.
They do just have to stall a little bit here. Lightning is going to come out. So
Nacello, ooh, misses the snipe again. Parka should know that that's coming. Goes into the area behind the fence. Nacello sees it coming, gets the assault rifle out, takes out Parka. Nicely done. Sha is still around. And gets spotted, gets sniped. And there's the defuse. Nacello's strategy pans out. And he's back on the board.
That one, Nacello just needs a highlight. Straight up. That was Nacello's play to win or to lose. When you're stuck as a sniper in a situation like that where you don't necessarily have super long sight lines, it looks rough, but being able to find the assault rifle off of someone else on the field and giving you that short to mid-range power that you lacked before is going to give you a lot more flexibility, because now you can cover both the long, mid, and short distances very, very effectively. So Nacello in that situation just went for the initial pick that they found through the long sight line. And then in the 1v2, you have your options. You have so much flexibility in how you want to take these fights that the opponent doesn't. And if you can isolate them into 2 1v1s, your chances to win go up so much higher. And Nacello did a beautiful job of that.
I also like the fact that Nacello swapped to assault rifle for the shorter range fight against Parka.
Yeah.
That was a very good move that got him the kill. Unfortunately, this time around, they're going to have to pull that off again, and it's a 4v1, and unfortunately, Infinex is able to get that full sweep.
Yeah, by the time you're stuck relying on your sniper to be able to get a clutch kill in close distance immediately, like, something has already gone terribly wrong. So that one, not necessarily on Nacello, but N.M.E needs to have a better setup. Now, this is the second to last round before the side swap, so they have a little bit more time to practice this.
Ooh, Solid taking out Solid taken out by Kings. Kings, again, is still a very strong member of Infinex. They've been taken out quite recently,
Kings.
but yeah. But if they stay alive, they might be able to still hold that on. Actually, it's 4v2. It's not even a clutch at this point. Infinex is at a massive advantage. 4v1, Nacello once again having to clutch it out against a 40-second clock. And Infinix knows that. Kings goes around, finds it with Tatia, and that puts Infinix at a massive advantage. 1 round left before the side switch, and Kings is already up, at least going to be 6-3, possibly 7-2.
Yeah. Infinix doing absolutely amazingly on this. They're able to force these short range fights that I thought would be a lot harder to force on firing range compared to standoff. Because on Raid, they're pretty hard to force because Raid is a very wide spread out map, but you can get them sort of around the courtyards. They didn't resort to that. They just went for the rushes and hoped that people were there that they could kill. And that worked out for them. But this is working out so much better for them than I thought. That time they did catch someone on the rotate before they pushed in, but also they stopped Nacello in return. So now it's down to a 4v4.
It's 4v4. Nacello's down. Kings and Tatia are still up. Munoz goes down, however. Shah is in a very tight position. Solid, however, gets traded in response. Aun and Evader still on defense, but they're split. Aun on point A, Evader on point B. Tatia needs to go into the trailer and does find Aun. Doesn't find the kill, but doesn't get killed either. There's the slide kill. Evader now on point B, but point A is where the bomb's been planted, and that is Infinix 7-2 going into the side switch. And we've already seen Infinix strong in offense. You're saying that the short-range play was working, and now they're going to be holding that trailer, holding a little nest around, little nest around point B. This is going to be a very difficult uphill fight for N.M.E.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see Infinix take the same strategy that N.M.E were using against them, because it's just so effective to have those pivots, especially when you can win the gunfights. The problem was they just weren't able to win those gunfights before. But instead, it looks like they're going for a hard rotate to defend B. And with that information, N.M.E look like they're looking towards A at the same time. So it's going to be all up to what Tatia can find out here, as he's the only one on the other side of the map.
Well, I mean, you say that Aun is the one holding the bomb, and they are looking at point B, trying to find if there's any openings there. The rest of the team covering point A, and looks to be finding El Munoz at least. They've been spotted, so they know the position there. But Kings gets taken out.
That was really unfortunate for Kings. It should have been a 1-versus-1. And yes, Kings would not have had the angle. Aun already would have had sightlines on them, but it was just as the 3 members of N.M.E were choosing to converge. So you're just stuck in this unlucky situation where no matter how good at clutching you are, there are 3 guns from 3 different people all pointed at your head. And from 3 different directions.
Yeah, like this is a modern military shooter, not a fantasy Western game. You can't just...
Yeah, you're just not going to have that happen.
No. You can't make that work.
So it was really good. Really good from N.M.E at just being patient. The time they chose to collapse was just really unfortunate for Infinix. I don't know enough about professional play because I'm not a fantastic player. I'll be the first one to admit that. To know if that flank was off of information they already had, I didn't see any, and it just was really sad for Kings.
I think they had the information. I mean, Munoz and Tatia knew what was going on at point A. So they probably had a good idea that point B was likely to be the one taken, but it didn't actually get spotted. However, this time we are seeing Infinix going for more of the typical spots, holding defense, and that is working out reasonably well. Getting a 4v3 situation. Solid, Nacello, and Frosh all down. Allen trying to hold the bomb, looking to go to point A, but Tatia trying to put a stop to that. Evader coming in. Nicely done, Evader and Allen.
Clutch.
Nice, beautiful teamwork coming in there. Munoz, however, takes out Evader, but Allen from behind finishes off Munoz, and that gives N.M.E the win. Man, Allen and Evader working together, that was an amazing little duo job.
That was beautiful. That was absolutely fantastic from the two of them. What was that? 2 versus 4, I think, at one point?
Pretty much, yeah. Just split into 3 1v into 3 2v1s.
All right. I'll give it to you, N.M.E. It seems like they've recovered a lot of their momentum. However, Nacello did get caught off on the rotate, so they're going to have to take this one really slow. Maybe try for what they did about 2 rounds ago when they caught off Kings on his rotation. They did get a pick onto Shaw by B, and now are fighting around. We'll get the pick onto Kings as well, once again. Down to a 3v3.
Yep. Parker goes down, however. 3v2. Evader and Allen holding on. Solid with the bomb. Looking to go to point B once again, and it seems like, yeah, it's been spotted. Infinex knows to rotate there as well. So Munoz on the sniper. Gets a body shot. Weakens Solid. Doesn't get the kill. Solid going for that plant. And Tatia's the sniper. Munoz is on the short range. Evader, however, heavily wounding them, looking for a wallbang, and takes out Tatia. Munoz goes down to Allen's flanking, and that puts N.M.E 5-7, recovering their momentum beautifully.
Yeah, I feel like Infinix don't really know what to do at this point, because strategically, N.M.E are doing a great job. Even though they were in the 4v5, they were able to wait it out until they found a good ingress angle onto the point and just took defensive positions, took the gun fights from there.
And we're seeing, again, N.M.E coming for a slightly slower play. Weakening Kings, weakening Parka. Opening things up a bit. But looks like it's almost a rush on, like a slow rush on B with a bit of defense just to check the rotation.
I'm not sure what Solid is doing shooting this tree. I think trying to draw someone out.
While also going for wall banks. They can see there are people behind there. They know that someone is behind that tree, but Infinex, realizing that they're getting baited, falls back. Nacello, however, has gone down, so it's 4v4. Time pressure is on N.M.E. As hard push on B, 3v1 comes in there. Munoz gets spotted behind the walls and does go for Evader. Evader going for the slide, gets taken out. Munoz is still alive, resorting to their pistol though, and Allen finishes them off. It's 3v2. Tatia, in a desperate fight for their lives, manages to take out Frosh. And with that, Parka just clutches it out. Infinex 8-5, 2 rounds away from winning, but oh boy, is this close.
Yeah, it's getting closer by the minute, and I think the timing of that push from N.M.E was brilliant. But it was in the gunfights afterwards. They got the initial angles very well, and it worked fantastically for them. But it was the follow-up that they weren't able to stop, because when Infinix adjusted to the angles, they were able to get pick after pick, and it came down to a 2 versus 2 at one point. And yeah, that's fine. But two versus 3, sorry. And it just ended up being that Parka could clutch out harder.
I mean, I think a large part was also when Evader went in there, slid, and got killed by Munoz. That took a lot of wind out of their sails. But revenge! Allen and Salt still alive. N.M.E takes another point, 6-8. So there's a chance of them getting back in before the side switch.
It's anyone's game. It's really exciting,
well.
especially given, after the first point, we thought this could be, well, Infinix were looking at a potential DQ if they weren't able to bring Kings back, but they did. And that is a very hard deficit to work against. And so far, they're doing a beautiful job keeping their heads. However, Kings lost against Nacello in the battle of who decides who lives and who dies this game.
So we're in a similar situation as on the first map, actually. The identical situation, in fact. We had that on-point sniper taking someone out right at the start. So yeah.
Solid just keeps going for this position behind the can in the tree, looking for the wall bangs.
To be fair, it worked out last time, and
Yeah.
It's kind of dependent on Aun, though. Like, Aun and Evader are really what make it work. And Evader's calling A from the looks of it. Everyone's looking to point B on side of Infinex, so yeah, get that A. Although
they have enough information to know that they can at least try and get the plant here.
Yeah, and there's that plant. 40 seconds left before it's a problem, but hey, it's 5v4. N.M.E is just going to hold a nice defensive position around that trailer, and that should be that. Tatia trying to come in, but a stop to it does not happen. Evader takes them out. 5v3, Parka looking to try to finish that off as well, and similarly, Sha, however, similarly fails. Munoz also down. Parka, the last one left, into the trailer of death, and realizing firsthand why you do not assault that trailer directly one at a time.
Yeah, that was a beautiful, beautiful set from N.M.E. Just waiting until you know that at the very least there's not a lot of people defending A. They sent Nacello to scout out the A point, and once he saw nobody there, said, okay, we can bring everyone to this push, we can get everyone on it, and at the very least we can set up defensively. And they did a great job of that. And like you said, that trailer, beautiful, beautiful clutches there from Evader, one after the other, barely surviving, getting the win from there.
Oh, a nice flank onto TO2, right in the back. Doesn't even see it coming. And that's going to be an easy plant on point A. Now the pressure is on Infinix. King's able to get, let's say, a kill on Nacello. Gets a nice angle on that trailer, but not really managing to get much beyond some good vision.
Grenade's going to go out. Won't find anyone yet. They need to push this,
spot.
but all the angles are covered.
Yeah, solid spot. Shah knows that they can just go for it. King's over, going for a rush on a point A. Gets taken out by Frosh.
Seconds.
Frosh holding the sniper, and that is N.M.E pulling it up 8-8, tying the match out on a brilliant offense, coming up from 7-2.
Yeah, this is a nail biter at this point. I really liked N.M.E's strategy there. Instead of waiting this time, they were like, well, that A push worked last time. What if we just move up the timetable a little bit on it? And it looks like they were able to execute on it just as well the second time. Instead, this time they're going for the full push onto A.
Well, full push on a B, it looks like. Bit of a rotation there. Grenade, however, does take out Aun. Evader getting rid of Shah, and Park goes down as well. Tatia and King still left. Tatia trying to find that flank. Takes out Nacello. Oh, no, gets taken out by Nacello. Doesn't quite nail that snipe, and that puts N.M.E on match, actually on game, well, yeah, match point. Game point, match point, everything point.
Set point. Power point. Just everything we can think of.
All the points.
Yeah, that was a really solid rush there from N.M.E. And the only thing I have to question is how Aun died, because it said suicide
Grenade.
in the kill feed. So
Grenade.
Oh, okay.
I presume not their grenade. They just got a grenade in the bad spot, and then they just decided to step on it.
Unfortunate.
They hugged a grenade. They forgot that it wasn't. I don't know. Maybe it looked like a teddy bear. They have all the icons. Maybe the Santa grenade went, oh, it's a Santa. Yay. Boom.
I always knew Santa was out to get me.
I just never knew.
N.M.E going for the slow point. Once again, slow defense. And they got a pick down towards A point, so they're just going for the 5-man rush on it again. This strategy's paid dividends for them before. Why not do it again?
Munoz and King are down. Might as well. Tatia trying to come around the side on the rotation. Parka Shot are looking to find high ground. Actually, Parka trying to find a rotation kind of some in between, and that's not going to help too much. They're behind sniper point on point A, but Tatia's finding out Solid's got that covered. So Parka, not sure where they're going to try to approach from. Well, from the same angle as Tatia. That's leaving Solid with a nice little, basically a barrel to shoot fish in. There's the grenade.
That's called a grenade.
Oof. Yeah, opens everything up. Leaving Shah the only one left, and that is Solid taking them out and taking the tournament, well, taking this game, set, and match for N.M.E. They get 2 points.
10-8.
Yep, they get 2 points in the tournament, and that leaves Infinex with 1 point. We not updated live, mind you. This gets updated next week, but so just add 2 points to Infinex and 2 points to N.M.E and 1 to Infinex. So I believe they're both at 5 points now.
Let me do some quick math. I shouldn't do math on air. I should have learned my lesson from last time.
I
tried to
didn't
do
know the right
math on
preview.
air.
No, N.M.E is at 4 points. Infinex is at 5.
Okay, good. I'm glad I don't have to embarrass myself. It's funny, and people at home don't realize this, but like doing math on air is such a dangerous thing, because basic arithmetic at home, you're like, yeah, like 3 plus 2 is 5, right? And then you get on air and suddenly you're like 3 plus 2, that's 17. Now, when you have 17 points and you just sit there and you listen to yourself afterwards and you're like, oh my God, I'm an idiot. Oh no.
In fairness, it's just because I didn't have the image at full screen, so I couldn't read that it was a 2 or a 3. Once I full screened it, then I could see totally that I was starting from a 2 for enemy.
Yeah, I'm just sharing with the audience our fear, you know?
Right.
That's always the fear, is getting caught in like a dumb math, and the chat's like, haha, he said 3 plus 2 is 17. You're like, I know it's not 17.
It isn't.
I just had a moment.
It's actually, there's no base where it's 17, is there? No. Nope. Closest you get is
Not
11.
that I can think of, but you know what? After our analysis, that's what we can do during the commercial break. We can try and figure out if there's a base for it. But
No,
as
best
for
you can
the
do is
series,
11.
I
3 plus
think-
2 in base 5 is 11. Or sorry, 3 plus 2 in base 4 is 11.
Damn, he solved it on air. Why can you do math on air involving bases, and I'm afraid to do basic arithmetic? Jesus. All right. You know, this is unfair. But N.M.E versus Infinix, I think ultimately, had it gone to a 4th set, it was anyone's game. N.M.E, of course, took the first one. It was a 5v4. Not to take anything away from them, but that is really hard for Infinix to come back from. That is really hard for them to have a chance in. And from there, their first round is 5. They were really able to pull off a lot of pushes, a lot of flanks, and a lot of those close range engages that they were so successful at. But I think the strength of N.M.E coming into the 3rd map was their setup on that slow push that they developed when they switched to offense that really changed it back. Because remember, when they were on defense, they were getting absolutely trounced almost every round. I believe it was like, what, 3 to 6 when the side swap happened? Something like that?
2 to 7.
2 to 7. Okay, even worse for them. 2 to 7 before the side swap happens. The side swap happens, they bring it to a win for themselves 10 to 8. I think the reason for that was their slow push that they developed, I'm going to say about a third of the way, 2/3 of the way into their play on offense, where you had Solid taking that almost defensive point, trying to go for wall bangs onto B, while you had everyone else watching out, and you have your sniper rotating around to the A point to see literally just if anyone's there, and then from there you call the push. That gives you so much flexibility, but it gives you a stable point from which to operate. You say, okay, we all know where we're going to be going to start off this push. And that is so much easier to execute on than saying, all right, let's just run this way. Let's just run the other way.
And that's something that
I
we were
think that's
talking about
what won
on
it for them.
Raid, too. That's the reason for the courtyard push on Raid. That's exactly it. And a similar thing happens on firing range. It's a bit harder to make that happen on standoff, which is why Infinix generally has a great time there. But at any rate, we have from that looks like it's going to be a commercial break, and then we'll be back with the next match, which is going to be Tribe against Merciless GG. So stay tuned for that. We'll be back with that in a few minutes.
Do you have what it takes to compete against the best in the world? The best in the world. Can you make it to the top 100 in your region? How about the top 5% on your favorite console? Find out by competing on the most competitive platform in the world. DrBattles.com is where competition lives.
DrBattles.com, where competition lives.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the North American Pro League Season 1, Week 3, Game 2, sponsored by Dr. Battles. Go there to make money playing games and semi-pro stuff. DrBattles.com. That's our sponsor. At least for now. I might have just screwed that up. Dr. Battles. I can't do a serious commercial to save my life.
I'm wondering if like Dr. Battles is like battles of doctors. It's like 200 cc's of insulin stat. It's like I've already got it. Dr. Battles coming to ABC. Who would run that? If that were a reality competition show, I mean, what channel would run that? I don't know.
History Channel, because it would be, if it's Dr. Battles, you're talking about basically medics in warfare.
Okay. I can see that. But there'd also be something about how most medics actually also have at least 2% of alien genome. And then they'd have that guy with the big hair come in. And I think that would make it a true History Channel show.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. No. I mean, that's just generally true. I think according to the History Channel, we all have 1 or 2% alien genome.
Yeah,
that's just
I mean, just enough to make it clickbait, you know?
Oh, yeah, just enough. Not enough to actually make any visible change to the person's appearance. Just enough to...
Right, of course.
Yeah, you know. Just for the attention. And speaking of attention, it looks like Merciless GG is going to be getting quite a bit after that very solid win, which we paid no attention to whatsoever.
Okay, well, I mean, I was watching a little bit on the map. Tribe just kind of got gunned down.
That's not usual for Tribe.
No, and I don't know how to characterize what happened either, because it was just one pick after like that.
Okay, Abuse.
Like we just saw Gramps get taken out.
Yeah, I mean, Abuse is a very strong player, but last week, Abuse, I don't know what was going... I don't remember them being quite so strong. They must have really hit the firing range.
Yeah.
Because they're kind of scary. Or they were kind of scary. I mean, Orange put a stop to that, but still, it's 4v3. Merciless GG with quite the advantage.
It's all about having an information game, and at that point, I mean, you killed their sniper in the middle of a room with 2 people. Now everyone knows where you are. That's going to give them time to plant. That's going to give them the ability to force Marshy to try and clutch it out, and that's just going to be the shoot.
And Marshy goes down, and I feel like... Okay, so the thing with Tribe is that they've got a lot of players. And, like, Gramps, I don't remember really seeing them much last week. Geo, yes. Vitally, yes. Orange, I think so. Marshy, yes. But yeah, like, I think they have 6 or 7 players in their roster they swap between.
This iteration is not having a good day yet. So
not quite. No, vague.
Especially Gramps. Damn.
Gramps is just like, I mean, the sniper, you do often go for them, yes, but it kind of feel, especially with the name, you kind of feel bad for them, right?
I mean, it just reminds me of my grandfather, because just like him, he keeps forgetting where he is on the map.
Oh, I'm sorry. For a second, I was like, you know, it reminds me of my grandfather, who also got gunned down in an L.A. in a compound in L.A.
No, the only thing I know about my so my grandfather was a sailor, but my great grandfather was also a sailor, and the only thing I know about him was that he had a prosthetic leg that washed up onto a beach.
Oh,
and it made the New York Times.
Was it like a peg leg?
But a funny story about that: he was abandoned on a ship, and they came back to save the dog. And they were like, "Oh, hey, you're still alive. Cool." Apparently a true story, but that's sad. That's really sad.
I mean, was that what killed him, or did he just...
No, he lived. He made it.
Just
that was
minus a leg.
Yeah. He was just minus a leg at that point, and then the leg showed up later, and apparently that was what made the news, and not the whole fact that they were like, we don't care about you, but the dog. You gotta save the ship dog.
I mean, I can kind of see the mindset that goes into that, but it just feels like it's kind of funny where I'm imagining now your great-grandfather just walking up the beach, well, for
hobbling,
you know, like
hopping up the beach.
There's just slightly annoyed, grabbing his leg, like looking at the news crews, grabbing his leg, pulling it under his arm, and just walking back, slightly frustrated. It's like, it's my leg.
Just grumbling to himself for the rest of the week. Damn dog.
Oh, damn. Stupid dog, maybe I'll die and lose my leg in the beach, and there's news crews making it seem like some big deal. I don't know what's wrong with these people. Don't they know I fought in
That
the
round,
war?
things did happen. I think the major benefit for Tribe there was that they didn't lose Gramps immediately, and they actually had a sniper for the rest of the round to both play the information game and provide a few pot shots here and there.
Yeah, with both of their legs.
Yeah. Usually I find that to be helpful. Oh,
Well,
no.
Oof. 2 misses coming
Luis
from
got
Gramps.
picked off.
Oh, Gramps gets taken out. That was abuse. Missing twice. Gramps taking them out. Roballo with the revenge. Just assault rifle from across the courtyard. And that
God,
is...
this is just elder abuse at this point.
Well,
I've seen commercials about this.
I mean, what, like... Oh, I'm not going to... I was about to make a political satire joke, but I'm going to hold off on that.
Probably for after broadcast, that one.
Yeah, I'll save that for... We'll save that for afterwards.
You should just bide your time for that one.
Oh, come on! I was trying to avoid it, man. You just had to walk into it.
I walked into nothing. I've said nothing. I was just saying you might want to wait. That's it.
Oh, yeah, no. Your
that's
choice
all
of words was very much intentional, I'm sure.
I don't know. I'm a caster. I don't know how to choose my words intentionally. Are you kidding me? It's not my job.
That's entirely your job.
Well, that's what you say, but I say my job is just to tell you that Vague planted the bomb, and I think that's cool. Him
Actually, that
dying.
was my
that's
job,
cool.
which I was neglecting, but fair enough.
Yeah, it happens. It happens. And Tribe starting to pull themselves back into the round.
I mean, 2-3, and it is still the first map, so yeah, and this is Raid is the first map. I to double check the rules of who gets to choose which map is first.
Yeah, I did neglect to mention that it was on Raid, and until you mentioned it, I was like, oh yeah, Raid, of course, that's the first map.
This is a really big version of Standoff, man.
Yeah.
So many more
Why did
buildings, and
Standoff
they're
get a
much more
pool?
intact too.
Yeah. The real estate developers on Standoff are really fantastic.
Yeah, kind of surprised they got rid of the Russian signs though.
Yeah. Really weird. It's gentrification in action.
Oh yeah, no, that's absolutely yeah. Just you can't have Cyrillic in your neighborhood apparently.
It's terrible. Luis having a little bit of trouble in a 1v1 versus a sniper, and that's understandable, I think, because when you have a giant gun in your face, generally hard. But this does mean Graves is in a 1v2 now versus Vague and just Wally.
I've
30
learned
seconds
something
remaining.
about you, Nibiru, I did not previously know. Get a gun in your face, it's just hard.
Yeah, it's difficult.
Right, yeah, difficult.
Yeah, that's the word.
Yeah.
Gramps, able to pick up one. Just Wally, 1 versus 1. Can he find the spray down?
Indeed
I
they
think he
can.
will.
Can they find the defuse, though? They got 6 seconds. It is down to the wire, and it looks like it is going to be 1 second left on the clock before the bomb goes off. The defuse happens to tie the round up. Tribe, 3-3. Well, okay, Tribe and Merciless GG both at 3, being the definition of a tie. But tied at 3.
What needs to happen for Merciless to get back into this round is a little bit of elder abuse. And by that, I mean Abuse needs to start shooting Gramps. Yes, I'm using that joke again, but I just realized how apt it is for the sniper battle.
Oh, yeah, no, that was really on point. It's a joke. We just got distracted on a tangent.
It was unintentionally solid as hell. Again, going back
No,
to the
solid
point
was
that
last
I
game.
don't actually choose my words. They just
No.
kind of fall out of my
Yeah.
mouth, and I do with them what I can.
But
This
for
time,
the
Tribe
record,
has
solid
just
was the
gotten
previous
off.
match, not this one.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Looks like Tribe were just getting picked off on the rotate this entire time, but Vitaly.
Oh,
Might be
Vitaly
able
with
to
the
plan.
execution. The bomb was almost planted, too.
Well, now
Luis
it's
going
just
for it?
Marshy versus Raballo and Luis.
Oh, Marshy versus Raballo. Raballo versus no one. And the win goes to Merciless GG by default.
Very good defense there. Analytically speaking, I don't really have much to offer on that round, honestly.
Well, the rotations, that was the big thing, was that Merciless GG just was really on point with Tribe's positioning, took them out as they took the rotations and were vulnerable, and took advantage of the 3v2 to take the game.
Yeah.
Really, if it wasn't for Vitality coming in behind and just shooting someone in the back of the head, like gangsta style, that would have been, well, maybe not Russia, like, mafia style more than anything, then they would probably have just taken, like, really, Merciless GG would have run away with it if it weren't for that.
Yeah. At this point, the early part of this round was decided just by the sniper battles because both of them got very important picks off in the early game, but now it's Abuse is the only sniper left in the game, so this should give him an advantage over longer sight lines, but he's pushing into A. I don't think he's going to have an advantage here unless he can find the slide kill. But
Nope. No, Vitaly instead finds the slide kill on them. Rabalo being the only one left. Does not have the bomb in their possession. The bomb being rather close to point A from the looks of it, being heavily guarded by the remainder of Tribe, and the remainder of Tribe are the only remaining players anymore.
That was a really slick snipe to end the round. Hell yeah, Vitaly. That was really cool. Just picked up Abuse's sniper rifle, shot his teammate with it. That's about as power move as it gets. And I think the problem there... Sorry. I think the problem there for Merciless was that even though they had Abuse with the advantage, the bomb just got stopped right at A. And at that point, you have to put yourself in disadvantageous positions. And then Abuse got killed by having to do that. Because there's no safe way to get to the bomb at that point unless you can completely clear out the A point. And there was no way to do that from range. So they just had to go for the push. This time, going a lot better.
Well, it is going better. Definitely for Merciless GG. Tribe, however, in a bit of a tougher position. Geo holding on to that house and not really finding the right angles they need. That van doing a great job holding them. Well, was doing a great job, but now Marshy's taking them out. The plant is being defused. Marshy taking that out. Geo getting some mortal victory revenge. And that leaves Tribe at the advantage going into the side switch.
That was pretty slick from Tribe. It shouldn't have been. I'm going to be quite honest with you. Because, yeah, I mean, it ultimately came down to gunfight positioning around that van, as you mentioned. Because up to that point, Merciless GG had taken out most of Tribe and were doing a really good job. And then they went for the plant, and suddenly everything fell apart. Oh, no, sniper battle starting out real poorly on the first offensive round here for Tribe.
Yeah, although Vitaly getting revenge, taking out just Wally. Abuse still around, though. I mean, well, they were just Wally. I mean, what's left of them? Vey getting flanked, not even caring as Vitaly just rips him to pieces. Unfortunately, Rabalo takes them out. Geo Rabalo, the last fight. Rabalo had more HP going into it. Uses that to their advantage to win and not die. Merciless GG evening out the game again.
That round fell a bit into chaos past the midpoint, but I do want to point out something that I found really impressive from the early points on. Vitaly is continuing to impress me in this series so far because even though Gramps got shut down, this is the second time now that he's made like a really clutch kill with the sniper rifle that he's taken from someone else. So Vitaly just pulling double duty on this. Eventually got shut down, yeah, but taking 2 kills out just for your 1 life is pretty damn good, especially in the situation he was given.
Yep. Gramps, however, snipe vague from point blank range. Wow, clean sweep for Tribe here. No one died on their end. Perfectly done.
Yeah, it was really good. Abusing the positioning at A. They knew they had a man advantage, so they just rushed in, and it looks like at that point, there's not a whole lot Merciless GG were able to do to shut them down.
And that is, I mean, like, what's Merciless GG going to do now? Because Merciless GG right now going for very much a split defense. They've got Abuse holding on that center point, trying to find some pick off, but not getting a whole lot out of it. It's clear that Tribe is well aware of where Abuse likes to put themselves and is avoiding that completely or setting up Orange to punish when Abuse decides to get impatient. 5v1 now.
Push into the courtyard.
Oh, and then from now, Rabalo is now the only one left. Does manage to get a kill, though. Orange goes down, and Marshy finishes them off. Tribe absolutely brutalizing Merciless GG now that they're on the offense.
Yeah, it was a beautiful 3-2 push in favor of Tribe into the courtyard, and they just had the better angles and immediately knocked them down and didn't lose anyone. And from that point, it was just their round to lose. And to their credit, they held on to it with everything they had. There wasn't a whole lot that Merciless were able to do about it as they all got shot down one by one. Rabalo will be able to find the nade over the wall, though, onto Marshy. This should slow down the push of Tribe a little bit.
Looks like some wall bangs coming in here. That position is known. It's known that Merciless GG is definitely going for a split push. That leaves A someone open to Orange gaining themselves kills, trying to take A. Abuse still around, goes to that goes the slide into getting shot dead. Curious strategy, but it's going to allow Tribe to take that plant.
Really good 2v2 there from Tribe, especially on Geo on the clutch 1v1 versus Abuse that it turned into. They're going to drop the anti-grenade, keep themselves safe, cover the angle, try and watch the entry into this point because that's all they have to do at this point. Able to shut down one, maybe able to find another one. There goes the
tally.
Just Wally.
And Geo with the back shot, getting the last kill needed. 8-5. Tribe just needs 2 more rounds, and they will have the first map.
Turns out Just Wally is not enough. So next time, hopefully, Merciless GG will be able to hang on to their players better. Again, a lot of that came down into the A point 2v2, and just a beautiful job from the side of Tribe in outplaying that one, especially Geo, with the slide into Abuse to try and stop the aiming from going right onto him just as he knew the shot was coming back up. Gave him enough time to win the 1v1.
Yeah, and again, we're seeing actually a pretty strong rush on a point A. It's pretty clear that Tribe is aware Merciless GG likes to go for the split defense, and they're taking full advantage of that. Although I loved the way that we saw Geo kind of hold the center just enough, I think Vitaly as well, just enough to make it look like there was a possibility of a rotate onto point B, just to keep Just Wally on point B longer than really is safe, or really be advisable.
And it'll also give you, it also gave them eyes on the potential rotates coming in for the defense.
Mm-hmm.
You know, every shooter, as much as, well, bad players like me like to think of it as just an aim game, it's all an information game. If you know where the enemy team is coming, if you know where they're coming from, you will win any 50-50 because it becomes 60-40 or 70-30. Over time, you're going to win that. So information is king in these kind of games.
Especially with this TDK. Like, people die so quickly, there is no time to aim. You have to already be aiming in the right direction to begin with in order to I mean, players like Abuse definitely get away with aiming from time to time, but ultimately, if you're already aiming in the right direction, you're just that much faster, and it makes a difference.
Exactly.
And Luis is going to have to aim like a god if they want to be able to pull this out and not give the map over to Tribe. They got orange from behind, or sorry, Gramps rather from behind, but it didn't quite work out. Gramps turns around and says, "No, I want your head to no longer be." And so it was.
and no longer it was.
Yes.
10-5. Favor of Tribe.
So Gramps declared. And now we have a one-match win, or one-map win advantage over to Tribe. And a strong showing from them after a bit of a weak opening. Clearly, Merciless GG has an amazing offense, and Tribe had a difficult time dealing with that. But once Tribe got on the offense, they were able to very intelligently deal with it. I should point out, Tribe didn't lose a single round on offense. Yeah. Or sorry, lost one round on offense. It was 5-4 going into side switch. It's 10-5 at the end of it.
Yeah, it was just a beautiful, I'm going to say prediction of adaptation. Because to your point, they were going for these slower pushes, but then when they were noticing a pattern in the defense strategies of Merciless GG, they swapped it up. They said, okay, we're going to just go for the strong rush onto A. We can guarantee that we're going to catch about 2 of them out there. From there, we're going to be able to take the gunfights, do whatever it takes in order to get the win. And
that worked.
It turns out winning is enough.
Yeah, winning is generally a good strategy. So speaking of winning, we're going to have a small advertisement for Dr. Battles where apparently you can go win and make money if you win. Presumably only if you win. I don't know if they give you money for losing, but I can't be sure about that. So go watch their commercial. They should explain that.
Do you have what it takes to compete against the best in the world? The best in the world. Can you make it to the top 100 in your region? How about the top 5% on your favorite console? Find out by competing on the most competitive platform in the world. DrBattles.com is where competition lives.
DrBattles.com, where competition lives.
All right, welcome back, everyone, to the North American Pro League for Call of Duty Mobile Season 1, Week 3. And we are back after the advertisement for Dr. Battles. Dr. Battles, Dr. Battles, Dr. Battles, Dr. Battles, Dr. Battles, Dr. Battles, Dr. Battles.
Not Professor Battles. That's only for his students.
Dr. Battles.
Dr. Battles to all of us.
Yeah.
What do you think Dr. Battles' first name is?
Greg.
Before, as we go into this game.
It's Greg, but only his wife calls him that.
Okay. Everyone else calls him Dr. Battles.
Yep.
Perfect. Where you can create tournaments and leagues for your teams and players.
Using Greg.
Exactly.
But don't call him
All
that
right.
to his face. He gets very mad.
No. Dr. Greg Battles. Do you think PhD or MD?
Both.
Do you think they also have a JD? Is it
No,
all the letters
no,
or just
no.
most of them?
No, they got JD fired.
I see.
Yeah.
Going to
Anyway.
see Merciless GG starting on the offense here. Going for a slow push onto B, but it is 5-person push at this point. So this is going to be a very dangerous hold here for Tribe.
And Gio goes down first. That push is working out really well. Raballo heavily damaged, but as is Vague, but they're going for the plant. They aren't worrying about it. Gramps goes down as well. Vitality, the only one left. And unfortunately, not in a great position to kill anybody. As it is a 5v1, everyone on Merciless G is at full health and not dead. So, Vitality, I will be happy for you if you get a single kill.
I'm just watching in the third person because Luis is on the exact opposite side of the wall.
Oh, that's what's going. I was wondering what was happening there. It's like, because it was the weirdest thing.
I like the save for next round strategy. Here from Vitality. It's not Counter-Strike, but we can treat it like that.
Pretty much, yeah.
Able to get one pick. All right.
Well, it wasn't a complete shutout. Vitality got some revenge.
Yes. Technically, yes.
Technically.
But I will say that that was... I'm not even going to say poorly defended by Tribe, but poorly scouted by Tribe. They didn't see it coming at all. And when you're in a 5 versus 2 situation, there's no way you win that without insane gunplay. And realistically, at the top level of any FPS, you can't just rely on your gunplay being better.
No, I mean, both these teams are very strong in their gunplay, so yeah, it's not... Like we saw with Kings before, where they are amazingly strong independent of everything else, but even then, they still frequently got just picked off at the beginning. Heroism only goes so far.
Oh my god, that grenade.
Heroism only goes so far until a grenade blows up in your face, and then you just die. Gio, now the only one left, forced to be a hero in a 1v3 situation, does manage to take out Raballo, so at the very least, there is that going in their favor. Now it's Abuse and Just Wally. But Abuse looking to go for the flank, does not have to, as Just Wally getting the kill.
Yeah, so the rest of the map kind of fell apart there, but I want to say, Gio, fantastic use of the grenade right there. Was able to find 2 out of 3 with it. Because there was a lot of clumping going on from Merciless GG, so I wanted them to watch their positioning a little bit this time. Looks like they may be going for another slow push. They are going to try and split, win the information game first. Raballo might be in danger here.
Raballo is indeed dead, so danger was
That's
definitely a
about
problem.
as in danger as you get.
Oh, no, it's well after that point. Not in danger once you're dead. You are dead, however.
True.
Yeah.
Which generally takes precedence, I find.
Agreed. But Abuse is going to have to really skirt that line right now if they want to be able to clutch this out and make it a 3-0 for Merciless GG. And getting even to the bomb is going to be a major challenge. That has been pretty well defended. We have the trailer. Actually, the trailer and point B. Everything's kind of covered. Marshy in the middle. Make sure, just checking for rotations. And I believe they've called it out. Vitality. Do they know? They should see. Abuse just went by their screen.
Yeah.
I don't think Abuse spotted it.
Spotted out.
And they're dead.
Good scouting there from Tribe. Very well done. Very well executed from them.
Very well done execution.
Yes.
Yes, no, the Abuse's summary execution was beautifully pulled off.
Much like a well done steak, it was solid. But not solid in the last series.
How well done are your steaks, man?
Look, if you get a well done, it's something like, okay, this is not something anyone should ever do. But I imagine if you got like a well done steak at Applebee's or something, it would just be a brick of meat.
Well, I mean, the first mistake is getting a steak at Applebee's.
Yeah. I mean,
Well, actually, the first mistake was going to Applebee's.
Sort of implied. Sort of implied, but the statement steak at Applebee's.
Yeah, there's 3 mistakes in that statement alone.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Wow. Marshy able to get the fight despite not having the angle or any information whatsoever. Only found out when they were being shot at, and then getting the clutch through the trailer as well. This is now going to be a 2 versus 1 for Wally.
Slide out through the trailer. Marshy is not playing Call of Duty Mobile. They're playing Vanquish. Just want to let everyone know that.
That was a really well done round from Tribe. Just
yeah, it was
beautiful use. I mean,
they did
I
the
think part of
standard
that
thing
was just Marshy being good.
A lot of it was Marshy being good, but a lot of it was also patience. Tribe let Merciless GG take it, didn't do much, and then just went back, collapsed on, and finished off Merciless GG after the point grab.
Looks like, however, Merciless are going to go for the 8-point rush again. Might take this one a little bit slower, it looks like.
Oh, Vague has to be careful there. Abuse and Ravala as well, getting heavily damaged by a grenade. Vague, however, able to get a bit of damage before going down themselves, and Gramps, oh my goodness, Gramps does not get an Abuse. Abuse slides in and does manage to take them out, so that leaves Geo on their own. And Geo trying to find the right angle to come in on to allow them to not die. And unfortunately, they
didn't find it.
No, Abuse found them first.
Yeah. So that push, I feel like, should have gone a lot worse for Merciless GG, pushing his 5 into that and getting allowing Marshy to get a 2v1 in their own favor. They died themselves. But I think it was the repositioning afterward that really sealed it for Merciless there. They were able to get the flanks around the remaining members of Tribe as they came to rotate. And that was where Tribe sort of fell apart. Got very close, but Merciless GG ultimately won out with that strategy.
Still, though, nice wallbang coming in here for Geo. Takes out Raballo. Abuse trying to find some angle on point A to take it out. Does get a pick on Gramps. Winning the sniper war, but getting damaged by a grenade in the process. Vague coming to help support them. Still providing a bit of an awkward position. Geo is on the high ground. Does have great vision. Knows exactly that Merciless GG is focusing on rotation now.
This is really good positioning here from Geo. Gives you a lot of information for the rest of the map. Even if they die at a certain point, that gives you even more information. It gives you information on who's where. But at this point, it doesn't look like that's going to happen because Marshy just picks up 2 snipes in a row in very, very quick order.
3 snipes in a row. Got the hat trick.
Gee. Leave some kills for the rest of us, Marshy.
Okay, it's more the head trick, really.
Yeah, at a certain point.
Yeah, the hat's just kind of flown off in the pink mist.
The hat is no longer a factor when it comes to sniper rifles, I've found. Not from personal experience, from watching this game before.
Well, no, I imagine personal experience, you'd probably not be talking to me right now.
Right, that would sort of be the implication there. But Geo, I'm really liking this defensive positioning they've been taking every single round up in this house. You get a lot of high ground vision on the rotation areas, those long angles that everyone else is going to come. And you also have a lot of positioning firefights across the building, across the way.
Mm-hmm.
And Geo has been playing it absolutely beautifully on these gunfights and getting the advantage every time. So now they're ahead in the information game. They know if Geo sees no one, they have to be coming for that B point, and that allows them to pick up a trade kill.
And that's exactly what happens. Marshy is set up for that snipe. Does cover Vitali. Vitali, however, going in there, does not get Raballo thanks to the cover of the point. But still, Geo is able to move, get into a better angle to take out Raballo. Heavily damaged, though, but that opens the information game up. That leaves Vitali able to take out Raballo. Vague trying to find some flanking position. Does take out Marshy, but Geo on the behind takes them out as a revenge.
And that's how that should play out at that point. We can talk about gunplay as much as we like, and admittedly, that was some very, very impressive gunplay from Vague. But when you have the information, you have the man advantage on a defensive position as Tribe did, that's how that should play out. While one person is dying, even if you're losing the gunfight, someone else should be flanking in from behind, someone else covering that angle and making sure they don't get out. So really well done there from Tribe.
I mean, Tribe's teamwork is on point. It is a level above.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons they are doing so well as they are in general in this series, in this whole season, I mean. Well,
yeah,
the series as well,
phenomenal
too.
So far.
And we saw last time, once they got into offense, Tribe really knows exactly what they're doing. They have everything very well choreographed. So right now we're seeing on defense, again, it's 4-3. It's kind of even. And Abuse getting some amazing pickoffs, too, leaving Geo and Orange as the only ones left on Tribe. But it's 2 rounds away from the side switch, and Tribe could very well turn this around as they did last time once they're on the attack.
Yeah, if they can just keep this one tied up, with their record last time, as you said, their proclivity for playing on the attack side, I think they're going to have a very, very successful rest of this map. But Merciless GG are not out of it yet, of course. So I want to see what they're going to do, try and change up their strategy a little bit. Looks like we may have had a disconnect there from Luis.
Oh, no.
That's definitely going to change things up strategically here for Merciless GG. That is not good for them.
Oh, that's the second 4v5 we've had today, but at least this time, Merciless GG got some kills in first. Got some wins in. Not the full round, but Riballo is getting some revenge. Marshy's now down. Gramps is looking for a sniper pick. Doesn't manage to find one, and actually, it's still 4v3 here. Merciless GG now getting knocked down 3v3. Riballo goes down. Abuse goes down, or Vague rather goes down as well. Abuse trying to find some picks. Doesn't get much, but does get forced out thanks to a grenade. Orange, however, goes down in the process. Vitali takes out just Wally. Abuse now trying to find Vitali. Finish them off. Abuse is ready, knows where Vitali is roughly. Vitali. Oh, they're out of position. Vitali does not see Abuse in time, and looks like they are going to get taken out. That is Abuse, turning it to a 5-4 advantage for Merciless GG before the side swap.
All right, well done by them, but Luis is still not here. So this is going to be a rough road back to the top at this point.
I think, like I said, it's already working in a position where Tribe, I mean, they came back from a worse... No, wait, no, that was different.
Significantly worse. It was what, 2-7?
Yeah, it was 2-7 the first. Well, the first... No, it wasn't 2-7. That wasn't... It was 5-4 the first time. 2-7 was the previous round.
Yeah, it was 5-4. So, basically...
The same position.
What we have here.
Yeah, pretty much. And Merciless GG getting completely wiped out. Tribe losing no one, but that's kind of what happens in a 5v4. Straight up gunfights are a suicide pact. Well, not a pact so much. Pacts usually require that both members commit suicide. In this case, only the one. So it's declaration of suicide. It's a cry for help. Someone give.
That's really
give
what this game
help.
is. It's a cry for help. Someone help Merciless GG.
Like Luis reconnecting.
That would
Someone
be
help
great.
Luis's internet.
Yeah, Luis's internet needs a buff. I think if we're talking about balance of this game, I think Luis's internet definitely has been neglected for a little while, and I'd like to see them pay the attention to it that it deserves. But really, on this defense, there's not a whole lot that Merciless GG can do, especially with the loadout that Tribe have been opting to run. They've gotten Gramps off the sniper rifle at this point. They have no snipers coming into it. They just want to go for that full rush play, those full close to mid quarters.
Oh, and when you're dealing with a sniper, the fact that Abuse is going to be out of the fight, like they're not directly in, they have to get those snipes to actually do any damage, then they're not doing a whole lot to manipulate positioning on Tribe's end while Tribe's assaulting, which means that Tribe's going to have a tough time. Granted, Gramps does actually tell the sniper rifle from time to time, but that man advantage means that they can be outside of that gunfight. They can be off the side of the map, just covering something, and it's still an even fight. And Riballo goes down early. Trade kill for Orange. Gio goes down as well as Vague is trying to get this, trying to claw this back somehow. Marshy gets caught from behind and does not go down. Barely.
Barely. Gramps with a beautiful snipe as well on the Wally. Here comes the plant already, forcing Vague out.
Vague over Gramps, the trailer. Vitali does spot it. Marshy not going for the flank yet. In fact, Vague looks to be trying to check for that flank and does not matter. Marshy and Vitali, both of them, with that covering fire. That leaves Tribe with 3 rounds left before they take this 2-0.
We've gotten some information from the production team. Apparently it was Luis's iPad crashing that caused him to jump out, and that is really disastrous.
Someone buff Luis's iPad.
Yes, buff Luis's iPad. His internet's fine. I honestly think it's, 55% win rate. I think that's good for a professional player.
That is highly unfortunate. Now we are 2v2, however. So the advantage is Merciless GG. It looks like they might be able to pull this around. Vitali pretty much stuck going for the kill. They have a minute left, so they have time. But it's a question of whether or not they're actually able to kill Riballo here, and they are not going for, assuming Abuse is going to be coming in at an angle, and indeed they are. Vitali gets taken. Not even taken, I think take out Abuse, just like it's nothing. But against Riballo, though, Riballo finishes them off with no weapon. Are you getting a bug with weapons not showing up? Because I feel like at this point, on my end, the players are just killing each other with their mind. They're just throwing mind bullets at each other. And...
No, but I would prefer that reality. It was unfortunately a boring pistol.
Oh, no. No, in my case, Vague won with mind bullets. Or a baller, rather, won with mind bullets. They had their hands by their sides and were just putting their head forward. And Vitality died.
I like that. Marshy getting picked out by Abuse. This is really good here for Merciless GG, essentially turning it into a 4. But that's not as good.
That's a 3v3. It's still even. Still even. Still room. Vitality is in a bit of a fight with Just Wally at range. Vague, however, taking advantage of that to go for the flank and should be able to take out Gramps from behind. But Geo on the rooftops, as they have been in that on the high ground positioning, using that to their advantage and finishing off the rest of the team. That is opening everything up. Vitality goes for the plant. Gramps goes for the snipe. And the win for this round goes to Tribes.
It's over, Merciless. I have the high ground.
Pretty much.
That's Geo.
That's Geo right now.
My impression of Geo.
And that was Merciless doing their best impression of jumping at them and getting all their limbs cut off.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't end up being quite that dramatic because this is a gun game, but like maybe
you can shoot people's limbs off.
Some swords
not in this game, but
just a thought.
I mean, that would be really cool to have like swords and guns, and then have like parry mechanics, and then can we just have like Fury deathmatch?
Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
I want one of those.
Yeah,
it's match for Tribe. Things are getting dangerous here. Things are getting serious. I'm gonna be honest, Merciless GG are doing way better than they should have been doing in a 4 versus 5. So this is really sad to see because they're still doing an absolutely fantastic job. We'll see if they're able to keep this one. Looks like they might be going for a full. Actually, it's like a split rush. I'm not sure what they were doing. Geo trying to get to their usual hangout. It's shot along the way.
It's a full rush on A. They're not worried about B. Looks like, I mean, the thing is that a lot of people will split. A lot of teams will split. So going for a full rush 4v whatever, you are probably going to have a local advantage. So, yeah, it's absolutely the right thought from Merciless GG, and it is now a 4v4 globally. 4v3 as Raballo gets a bullet to the head, but Marshy almost dead. Geo goes down. Marshy's down. It's 3v2. Merciless GG might be able to take this. They just have to hold that, defuse the bomb, get rid of Gramps. If Gramps dies, then there's a defuse. That is Merciless GG holding on to this round. Holding on to this map, holding on to the tournament.
9-7. This is so unbelievably impressive from Merciless GG. Being able to clutch out.
I am literally biting my nails over this. 5. I should probably stop that actually, but
yeah, I mean your nail beds will thank you when this game is over. That's okay. In the meantime, they suffer. What is art if not for suffering?
I mean, to make other people suffer.
Oh, yeah, I guess. 3 versus 3 already.
3 versus 1.
God, Abuse.
Abuse. Are you gonna turn this in? I mean, if Abuse turns this around, that will be a heroic play. I was saying before, heroes don't count, but I think Abuse might have just decided to prove me wrong there. And they're doing a darn good job of it. Geo giving a run for their money.
That's going to be it. 9-8.
9-8. Tribe needs to hold on. Side switch after the next round if Tribe doesn't take it.
Tribe really need to reset here mentally and just take it slow. The advantage you have in a 5 versus 4 is you have an advantage in the information game, assuming you don't get picked off on the rotate. So Geo, I like them taking a closer position so they don't have a risk of getting picked off. You still get the information, but you don't lose that warm body.
And not only that, a warm body has been dropped for Vague. Has gone cold thanks to Gramps. Orange, however, in revenge, but Raballo falls on top of that. Abuse. They're running 2v3. Gets whoa! Through the trailer. Gets rid of Geo. At least Gramps and Marshy alive. Abuse, that was I don't know how they knew that was where to go, but they knew that was where to shoot. Get that wall bang. Gramps and Marshy still up, but Abuse goes down. 10v8. Tribe takes it 2-0. In a 4v5 situation, Merciless GG, man, they were so close. I agree. That was unfortunate. It's really, what can we analyze other than it kind of sucks Luis's iPad crashed, because Merciless GG did an amazing job holding on despite that disadvantage.
Yeah, and it really feels bad. I mean, congratulations to Tribe and everything. In the first round, of course, they did win very convincingly 10-5. So it would be remiss of us to say, oh, the only reason that Tribe won was because it was a 5v4, because that's not entirely true. But considering how close that was, I think it's getting closer to fair to say that, honestly. Tribe pulled the 2-0 there, but Merciless GG held on with all their might and had beautiful strategic adaptations to the 4v5. What they tried to do instead was just try and catch people out on the rotate, abuse, honestly, and
24
have
kills.
him do all the work for them. Because if you have a powerful sniper who's proven to be able to clutch out time after time, set them up for success. Take the rounds where you are just left with abuse, able to take pot shot after pot shot, and by stalling them out like that, they were able to keep Tribe on the back foot. But eventually, you know, Tribe just went for that full push, were able to get a pick down, and you know, honestly, I felt like even though they got the first kill, it was when abuse died that round was locked in.
Absolutely. Although even then it was 2v3 at that point, was still a tricky position to work from. So, and also Geo had that information advantage, and I saw abuse in the rotate. Like, it was not a trivial situation. The one thing I would have really liked to see, had we been able to, would have been if we could have seen, well, if we could have seen that one more round, because then we would have seen Merciless GG back on the attack. And at that point, I think it was a pretty good shot. Merciless GG could have taken the attack, probably off a four-person rush, but still, could have taken that attack and then pushed it onto map 3, which would have probably gotten the even 5v5 again. So Merciless GG was one round away from the side switch. And we saw well they did an attack, so
yeah,
that is one of the most painful things. Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, because Merciless GG is just that strong on their attack.
Just go for the rush and see what happens. You know, there's a 50-50 chance that Tribe gets it wrong. And in that case, Merciless GG could just pull it out. But
yeah, they do that. They get it. They move on to map 3. They get Luis back. But unfortunately, that did not happen. So we are done for the day then. That is it. That is our second match. Tribe taking it. It is 2-0 for them, so they get 3 points on the old scoreboard. So for the record, that puts Tribe at 9 points, tied with Singularity, though admittedly Singularity still has to play their match tomorrow. That is CBK, Singularity, Status Quo, and Matrix are going to be all playing tomorrow. So they'll be able to keep themselves in a good position. But yeah, Tribe now up 4 wins to 2 losses and has 9 points to their name. While our Merciless GG friends start at a bit of an advantage, but they have gained no points as a result of this fight. So they are now at 3 wins, 3 losses, and remaining at 6 CPL points. So tomorrow we will have, as mentioned, Matrix versus Status Quo, followed by CBK versus Singularity. But that will be tomorrow. Same time, same place, same sponsor of Dr. Battles, where you can go and find tournaments and play semi-professionally and make money, as we shall show in the ad I'm about to show before we go off. So before the ad, thank you for watching. Thank you, Lexi and Sol and Ronan, for helping out, hosting. Thank you, Iberia, for co-casting. Thanks, EasyTrade, for starting the whole thing in the first place. And
thanks everyone for watching.
Have a good rest of the day. Do you have what it takes to compete against the best in the world? The best in the world. Can you make it to the top 100 in your region? How about the top 5% on your favorite console? Find out by competing on the most competitive platform in the world. DrBattles.com is where competition lives.
DrBattles.com, where competition lives.